Hello, everybody. I want to start off by saying that the reason I named this the Hancock movie experience is because I want to talk about, uh, uh, what happened before the movie as well as the movie itself. Um, Before the movie, last Sunday, I just got out of church. We had just got out of church, and the church members, some of the church members, or a lot of the church members, decided that they wanted to go to the movies, which was all good. Um, so we started talking about which movies we would go see or what movie we would go to see. And it seems like everybody and their brother had already seen Hancock. So basically it was down to me and the church mother was like the only two that wanted to see it. So that's how it went down. Me and her went together and saw it. The others went to see the movie with Angelina Jolie in it called Wanted, which from what they told me was pretty gruesome, guts, brains flying, and all of that. Which I was kind of glad me and the mother did not see, because I wondered if she could have handled that, and I kind of wondered if I could have handled it. But anyway, something flying around. Anyway, during the movie, before we could even get to the movie, we had some drama. We, stopped at a Walgreens to pick up little items like theater movie candy, because it's ridiculous. Candy costs ridiculous prices when you get to the movie theater. So we did like pretty much everybody else does, whether it's right or wrong. We stocked up on some candies, nuts, whatever. I got the mother some nuts or whatever because she's diabetic and she's not supposed to have candy and all that kind of stuff. And she wanted me to sneak and get her something salty, which she's not supposed to be having a lot of salt either or whatever. So no, a lot of starches or whatever. She wanted to get some like pork rinds or something, and she tried to sneak, past her daughter by asking me to get it for her. But I was like, man, I'm not feeling this. So I got in the store and I asked her daughter, where the particular item she had asked for was, which was something that was, she said it was similar to peanuts, but not quite. Well, similar to popcorn, but not exactly popcorn. I never did figure out what that was. But I during that conversation with her daughter, trying to find out what it was, she said, "What did she do? What did she do? Ask you to get something for her that she's not supposed to have?" And I said, "Yeah." So she said, "Well, you didn't honestly see the pork rinds that she asked for, which I didn't honestly see them." So she said, "You can't tell her that." So I got some peanuts, which the daughter thought was just fine for her, wouldn't make her sick the next day because of the starch content. Starch converts to sugar, and she's a diabetic. Wouldn't cause her a problem. So when I got back to the van with the nuts, I got some theater, candy myself, some Whoppers and some Raisinets and some, what was the last? Well, it don't matter what the third one was. Whoppers and Raisinets and Goobers. Which Goobers were actually pretty good. But I got back to the van and and offered her the nuts. I didn't make her pay for them. I just and she was like, she said, "Connie talked to you, didn't you?" I said, "Yeah, your daughter." I kind of talked to your daughter. I said I admitted to her, So it was all good. She was happy with the nuts and everything. But before we could get to the movie theater to watch, me and her to watch Hancock and the rest of them to watch Wanted, we had a little accident right in the Walgreens parking lot. A lady basically backed right into her. As she was pulling out of her parking spot, just backed right into her minivan. So then the lady got out and she was saying, we were both moving and all of that. And there was a big guy with her, like the guy was like a weightlifter or whatever. And they was like, "Brother, get out the car, he might do something." He was the nicest guy ever. I talked to him for a while. The lady was kind of hype. She was a little hype, but that was okay considering there was accident. No, you backed into me. We backed into each other. And I really thinking back on it, that my the lady that was driving the van, I believe her foot was on the brake, and I think that the other person backed into her completely, just backed into it, wasn't looking at all. But other church members that were with us thought that she was moving as well as the other lady. So there was no sense in really trying to go to the insurance company because they would have declared it no fault accident anyway, because there was conflicting reports on what had happened. So the lady and her got each other information, whatever, and they basically drove off because the police was taking so long to get there that and we wanted to go and didn't want to miss our movies, which was starting. The Wanted movie was starting, so we went on ahead and took off. In retrospect, maybe she should have waited for the police, but they had each other insurance information and all that, and they both was probably going to end up having to pay either way, because if it had gone to the police and filed it and everything, the police would just said, well, it seems like both of them were moving, even though I think the lady I was with wasn't moving. Now that I think about it, I don't think she was, but that's just how it came out. But anyway, on to the movie. Let me see, I got 5 minutes and 52 minutes to get into the movie itself. So we finally made it to the movie, and it was a very nice theater, very well kept, state of the art, just everything. The bathrooms was clean. It was just perfection. It was movie theater perfected. So got into the theater. I got my little goobers out of the church lady or the mother's purse that they was in, and ate them as I watched the movie. And I got to tell you that it was an excellent movie. It was very good, very well made movie. Thought it had a good plot, a good script. A certain individual thought that the idea of the white and the black woman together was a little weird because he thought that they had been born, but they actually had been created. I'm not going to give away too much, but they had been created. So there was no type of racial thing around Hancock and the woman being married, so to speak. And I won't tell you who the woman was or anything like that. So there was nothing about that. It was very well. It was very consistent. Everything in the movie was consistent. The only strange thing is what you might have saw in the movie preview or the trailer when he told the guy he was going to shove. It was two prisoners or whatever. He was in prison or whatever, and he told the other guy he was going to shove his head up the other guy's butt. Now that didn't make a lot of sense because I don't see how you could do that without killing somebody. Shove another person's head up another person's butt. I don't care how big they are, how stocky or whatever. I think you would kill them. One of them I don't think would live. So I thought that was a little over the top crazy. But other than that, I think the movie was very well made, had a good plot. It was written in such a way and enough details were left out so that there's going to be a sequel. There's just no way there can be a sequel because they just didn't put in enough details. His history, the back history, that would explain better exactly where he came from. That would explain if there were others or a lot of others like him, or what the others that might have been like him were like, or it's just not enough history in that first movie to really answer all your questions. So there's got to be a sequel. But I think it was very well made. Will Smith did an outstanding performance at Hancock. He was very believable. The times when he was pitiful or sad or whatever, you almost felt like crying because he just looked so miserable. At times in the movie when he was miserable or sad, because you saw from the previews he started out. He's a very bad guy. He's unkempt. He's rude. He's just an awful. And of course, during the course of the movie, as you can see from the preview, he becomes a real hero. Not just drunken mess of a guy, but he becomes a real hero. So it's an outstanding movie. The acting is good. I think the writing is good. I think it was just all around a great movie. I would recommend everybody to go see it. It's not over the top, gory. There is some cussing. There is some bad language, and the church mother was kind of bothered by that. But I was like, well, if it's got I think it might have a PG-13 rating or something like that. I said, well, that kind of goes with the course these days. But she seemed to enjoy the movie in spite of that, and it was all good. And I wouldn't say that the cussing was over the top, gratuitous. It was just the level of cussing you would expect in a movie. That's not rated PG or something. So I recommend the movie. God bless you and keep you. Bye-bye.